All right, let's make an Android app. Originally, I was going to use Node.js and use, what's it called, Expo or React Native or something like that. And I decided that sounds like a giant pain. So if I want to make an Android app, I'm going to make it in Kotlin. I feel that feels right to me. And if I want to port it to iPhone later, then I'll remake it in Python later, or not Python, for iPhone later. Oh, those words are more similar than I thought. Okay, so this is the free version of just the built-in AI assistant inside of Android Studio. I made an application called Kana Core, and I used the package name com.lukeapps.kanacore. So I don't really know what I'm doing. This looks very similar to GitHub Copilot, which I have used before. Is this ready to run out of the box, or do I need to do something special? All right, analyze current file, found build. Okay. What in God's name? Seems like it's already shit in the bed. Looks like the project itself is in good shape and ready to run. I've checked the following. Code analysis built. However, I noticed that you don't have an Android device or emulator currently connected. To run the app, you need to start an emulator via the device manager in Android Studio or connect a physical device with USB debugging enabled. I'm not necessarily opposed to that, but let's start with the emulator. So, is this looks very similar to IntelliJ and PyCharm. Okay. I'm even more convinced now. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Where did it say? Android Studio. So this is Android Studio. Device Manager. Are you seeing that and I'm just being stupid? Oh, here we go. Add a new device. Add a new device. Oh, I see. Sorry. Create virtual device. Okay, we should probably choose one with a relatively low 1080 by 1920. Yeah, we want to make sure that it will work on relatively small displays. So here we go. Next. Sure. 2.2 gigabytes, huh? Okay, that's going just fast enough that I don't know if I should pause or not. Whatever. I'll just use it as an excuse to go get some tea. Alright, I'm back. Hopefully done means done, not, oh, here's the next step. If it needs a privilege escalation, it will interrupt the record. Okay, it just works. So do I need to start it running first? I think so. I think I need to start the emulator first. And then I can deploy my application onto the simulated device. It's a virtual machine. It's just a virtual phone. So that sound was my tea bag. Yeah, I didn't realize it would take this long to start. Okay, let's go back to the agent. All right. Start an emulator. Once a device is detected, you can click the run button. Ah. I have this weird feeling that's not what it was supposed to do. Did it crash because I hit? Did it crash? Is that what happened? Because if it did, I am officially unimpressed. Google. Okay, come on. Is it just me, or does it seem like it's taking longer this time? Was it not actually started up? It was just like teasing me. It's like, oh, this is what it will look like. Oh my God. Just load. Load, for God's sake. Okay, it's thinking. It is thinking. It's like a heartbeat there. All right. I installed, or no, I created a Pixel 2, but it keeps turning black, the screen, and it seems like clicking Chrome either crashes it or the app instantly closes. Is this expected? Because it's really annoying. This is expected behavior for a Pixel 2 emulator. Very old device profile, weak virtual hardware, often paired with older system images, UI glitches. Common symptoms. Create a newer device. Pixel 5. Creating a device, hardware or automatic, RAM 2 to 4 gigabytes. Newer emulator. The only reason I chose that was for the low resolution. I wanted to make sure it would work right. The way you're testing is not the right lever. Old device doesn't equal low resolution test. Old GPU, unstable system image, weird emulator bugs. Create, but adjust the resolution or use a smaller device profile. Okay. How do we stop this? Stop device manager. Stop. Delete. All right. Says use a Pixel 6. And here we go again. Ow, ow, ow. I just dropped my tea bag back in my tea. All right. Well, that was dumb. So, nice weather we're having. Yeah, I think I said this already, but I was originally going to use Node.js, but I don't want to deal with the NPM package system, and I don't really like JavaScript. I mean, maybe it's a prejudice, but even if Kotlin is a little janky, I mean, compared to JavaScript, it just seems like a dream. And besides, if I am building on something on top of something like a Google or Facebook framework, then I'm going to be somewhat limited in what I can do. And the idea is to make it portable to different applications. But if I'm effectively vibe coding my application anyway, then what am I really gaining? I'm giving things up for a convenience that I don't even need. Right? And I don't really like React. It looks very, I don't know how to describe it, like business-like. Like very cold, very unfriendly. And the customizations, if you start customizing the display, then suddenly the extreme convenience just goes out the window. And then it's like, well, why didn't I just build it from scratch, if that's what I'm trying to do. I actually asked an LLM to build me a sample app once, and it built it in React. Now that was inside of a web browser, but it looked like shit. It looked dated, and I think that it adds a layer of complexity that I don't want. It's sorry. Not a big fan of React, and I don't know why I entertained the idea of using it for even a few seconds. Well, no, that's not true. I do know why I considered it. It's because I want my app to also be also available on iPhone. And I just don't think that that's particularly realistic. Okay, here we go. Pixel 6 starting up, and apparently this one actually works. Come on, more dots. I've been trying to eat more pineapple, and it irritates my lips. Like, no matter what I try, it touches the edges of my lips, and then they get red. What is that, bromelain? I'm probably saying it wrong. All right, if this actually works, that'll be great. Still got that Jack Russell Terrier bouncing shit going on, and the screen goes black. Oh my god! Just kill me. Okay, if it actually works. Make Chrome your own. No, go away. Hey, it is actually working. Ford dealership tells man it would cost $2,800 to fix leaking valve. And it crashed. Chrome just crashed in Pixel 6. API 37. What do I do? Give up on life and shave my head. Chrome crashing in the emulator does not mean your app setup is broken. Emulating Chrome is flaky enough that I would not use it as a health check. What to do instead? Stop treating Chrome as a health check. Create a fresh emulator and use it only to run your app. Graphics set to software if black screens continue. Otherwise, choose automatic. Let's go to Device Manager, stop. Edit, I guess. edit, front, speed, latency. I don't know what any of these are. Internal storage, expanded storage. Oh God. Virtual memory heap size. Preferred ABI. I don't know what the hell that means. I'm not seeing a. Okay. I don't see a video acceleration option, but I did turn up the memory radically. Okay, so you're very close, but there are two important fixes that way matter. Okay, on the right side, this is the number one thing. API 34 or 35. Yeah, emulator rarely needs that much. Stability problems were not caused by RAM. Graphics acceleration, automatic. Okay, let's do one thing at a time. That really looks like Chrome. I'm surprised I didn't get in trouble. Okay, so graphics acceleration is here, and I'm just like being stupid or something. Where is API version? Okay. API 35. That's what we want. API 35. Okay, select system image. API 35. Okay. Expanded storage, that seems a little low. Okay, I was wrong. Sorry. Okay, emulated. Oh. How did I not see that? Okay, RAM. Switch it to software. Pre-release. I don't know which one to pick. It's making me pick which one. I don't know what I'm doing. Ah! Okay, Google API's Intel x86-64 Atom system image. Oh, God. No, it makes sense. It's downloading an entire system image again. You know, this is not the smooth sailing that I thought it was going to be. Maybe this is the one hurdle, then everything will go smoothly after this, right? Maybe. Is that just wishful thinking? I should probably go take a walk before it gets too cold. I've been getting very, very little exercise the last 2 days. Sorry, looking down, looking at my blue sky. I should pause it again. I have nothing interesting to say while I download something for the 3rd time. Alright, let's go. If it doesn't work this time, I'm just going to tantrum. I don't know. I guess it is a VM, and setting up VMs does require a little bit of patience. Do I have WSL installed? It'd be very strange if I didn't. Projects. What is that? Oh. Well, that's probably old as shit. Oh my God. That doesn't work. It's fine, just leave it running. Okay. This is not the good test. It's not flashing to black, so... Okay, what is... It's running. What should I do as a health check? Should I just assume it's fine? Don't assume it's fine. Do a 5-minute sanity check so you don't build on a broken foundation. You don't need anything fancy, just verify the basic works. That's what I was trying to do with Chrome. App launches cleanly. Hot reload rerun works. Okay, they're saying test with my app, which, I mean, I guess that's what we wanted to do, right? So, here we go. Now, I think Gradle pre-compiled, so it shouldn't be particularly difficult. I only have one device, but I still think that it has to ask, hey, what do you want to do with this? Or maybe I have to explicitly say send to this device. Either way, it's not that big of a deal. Gradle build running. You see, I thought that was done already. Oh, nice. Hello, Android. Alright, it is running on my device. It's kind of overlapping the box at the top. I didn't change anything. I just clicked run. It says hello Android on a white page. It is partially obscuring the title bar at the top, which is a little weird, but not that big of a deal. All right. White screen, hello Android, slightly awkward spacing near the top. Last part usually happens because the default starter content is not fully respecting system bars the way you'd want for a real app. Not a big problem, just starter template ugliness. The important part is the emulator works, the app builds, the app launches. That means your tool chain is basically fine for now. Your next move should be to replace the starter screen immediately so that you're not starting at template junk. A good first target is one centered card, Kana text in big font, one play button, one next button, title at the top, Kana Core, middle, I guess. Alright. If you want Gemini to do the first pass, give it something like this. Replace the default composer starter page with a simple study. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I have a starter app in Android Studio. I'm about to send this prompt. I absolutely want to get it into dark mode, but should I do that later or run this prompt first? All right. Okay, run this prompt first, but tweak it slightly so dark mode comes along for free. The default Android Studio Compose template already sets the theme, something. Alright, wrap the content in existing. Use material theme.colors. With those in, dark mode will already work when you flip your system setting. Okay, so I gotta shut the system setting. I can tell it I want purple later. Okay, let's come over here to agent. Well, let's stop running this. And then add the two things that this said. Where are they? And then we can set it to dark mode. All right. Now let's see how the AI handles this. Alright, replace the default Compose starter screen with a simple study card for an Android app called Kana Core. Use Jetpack Compose, show a top title, Kana Core, center. Alright. The agent needs your permission to make changes. Yeah, I wouldn't be asking you to help me unless if you didn't have access to change the files. I mean, I guess I'm glad that it asked, but whatever. Yeah, I'm complaining for no reason. Yep. This looks so much like GitHub Copilot that it's kind of messing with me. Like, did they literally use the same code to implement it? All right. Okay, I've replaced the default code in main activity. Added a centered Kana Core title. Styling. You can now see the updated design. All right. Start a file of things that need to be tested. And our first test, it can be a checklist text only for now. Our first test is that light mode versus dark mode in system settings is honored. Second is that title screen respects top OS bar and doesn't overlap. This file doesn't exist, so start from scratch. Okay. Testing checklist.md. Sure it's fine, but show me what it looks like. Okay, I don't need the rendered version. Oh my god. How do I, there we go. Okay, system theme integration, edge-to-edge display, navigation bar, character rendering, button interactions. Okay, it added more than I asked, but you know what, that's fine. Main activity, something is pissed. Conflicting overloads. I have a conflicting overloads error. Wait. Maybe it's going to resolve itself. Fun. Oh, function. I'm like, ah, fun, huh? I have a conflicting overloads error. Please investigate. Roll. Okay. The term grep is not recommended, or not recommended, not recognized. Jesus. God, I'm glad I'm not burning real tokens. Shit. Can you imagine if I were running this with Opus? I'd probably have a $15 bill already. Well, I wouldn't run simple commands like this with Opus. If I were doing Opus, I'd do haiku. All right, allow. Can I just say allow all? Searching for duplicate definitions of study card in the SRC directory. Okay. I suppose it's possible that it's an IDE error. I could just rebuild. All right. We went from 1 compilation error to 3 compilation errors. Redeclaration. Why does it think it's a redeclaration? Where is clean and build? Maybe it's under Gradle. What do you mean? I saw you load a Gradle project. What do you mean there's no tasks? Look, Gradle build finished. Okay, they're over here. What? I don't know why. Build. Run. Oh, now it loads. Now it loads. God. I feel like a junior developer again. What the hell is going on? Okay. I don't fucking know what's going on. This is ridiculous. I clicked run. This isn't what I want. I want to execute on the emulator. So how do I do that? App run. Okay, here we go. It's deploying Kana Core, and it's still overlapping. And how the hell do I get out? Okay. Settings. I don't know. Dark mode, I guess. Please fuck off. Dark mode. Dark theme. There we go. Muito melhor agora. How do I get out of here? Go away. Ah, much better. Okay. Is that really my icon? No, that's settings. It's called Kana something, right? Okay, starting Kana Core. Oh, that does look better, and it's not overlapping the bar anymore. Next. Play next. Okay, that looks good. All right. All right, we need a plan. It is working, but we need a plan. A set of steps. I don't want to do it here. I want to do it. I want to do it in Opus. Where did my Opus window go? Cool, it's working. All right, we need a plan. I think there should be an image. Well, first off, I need to add my MP3s to the project and manifest files. So I'll have to do that. But I can do that after the structure is decided. So there will be users, which means user creation and deletion, and a stats page. There will be units, hiragana, katakana, hiragana, characters, katakana, characters, hiragana, words, level 1, katakana, words, level 1, and the curriculum will be dynamic. So it will look at the JSON file that handles units, and those will point to folders which have exactly one JSON file and one too many MP3 files. Then a user will have a history of reviewing items, which can be right or wrong, resulting in a level which dictates repetition on an exponential scale. I may allow different review methods, exponential, Fibonacci, experimental other, but the idea remains the same. Eventually things get shown far less frequently as the levels go up. Alright. Then there will be practice mode. Alright. There are 4 methods. Okay. Each card represents a perfect pairing of 4 items. I don't know if pairing is the right word. So, Japanese text, Japanese audio, English text, and disambiguation. Additional context, example, part of speech, clue word, three items. There is no English audio though, because that is not how the tool is intended to be used. The whole point of the utility is to get the user reading Kana, not Romaji. So hiragana might include Romaji as English as a crutch, but then it's gone in the words unit. Okay. Help me refine my requirements and then establish a plan for implementing this using Google AI inside Android Studio. This is a solid concept and you've thought through the pedagogy well. Let me push back and ask a few places before we plan, because some decisions now will save you refactors later. Is this multi-user on one device, or are you thinking accounts sync? Yes. Multiple users on one device. However, it should be possible to export and import a user. Export and import a user. Also, there should be a way to simulate recovering a user by simply saying I was about 25% of the way through. Set the cards accordingly. Which will push 25% of the cards to about a level high enough that they won't harass the user constantly. So, import, export needs to exist. There is absolutely no API backend. Login, remote storage, data collection, or ads. Just an app working the way it should. There is a purchased mode which gives access to all content, and a free mode which gives access to only the first 100 items per unit. This is my one hope of recovering money. I might have an about page which includes a link to my Ko-fi page if someone wants to tip. All right. Okay. Where do the files live? The assets ship with it. So I assume that means assets is where we put it. There is literally no API backend, so live fetching is out of the question. Each card is a perfect pairing of 3 items, but make the data model honest. The card should reference the unit and an item ID, and the item is where Japanese text, audio file, English text disambiguation lives. That way, the same item can appear in multiple units without duplication. I was going to use the Japanese text to reference it, but maybe creating 128-bit GUID for each skill is fine, but the skill pool should be specific to the unit. So it would be 25 skills in unit 1, 30 skills in unit 2, etc. It's not going to be smarter than that. Or have crazy linking. All right. On review, is the level per user per item or per user per card? I'd argue per item. Oh, I see what you're asking. By the time the user is reviewing words made with hiragana, I expect them to know the kana. So I have no intention of reviewing, or what am I trying to say? Maybe I'm making a mistake. If they missed a word because they didn't know a kana, maybe I really should but I don't want to pester a user for the wrong reason. They could mark something wrong because they forgot the translation, even if they knew every single mora perfectly. Okay. Yes, there will be no Pimsleur mode. I was advised by another LLM that anything which seems like a bulk export of 11 Labs content could be seen as problematic. But as long as it lives inside the app in a Duolingo-like method, it should be fine. Okay. Is a card always... There will be different modes. So, hear the word in Japanese, say, think, or type it in English. We trust the user to say right or wrong. Hear the word in Japanese, then, then read the word in English, because no English audio, and produce the word in Japanese. Presumably that means said aloud. Then read the word in Japanese and produce the translation. We play the word for them and just kind of take their word that they got it right or wrong. No listening API or no ARS or anything like that. Session structure. Fixed end cards per session, time boxed. You're right. There should be some kind of guided lesson. I probably should have made smaller bundles, but it's too late now to have themes for psychological benefit. It's too late now to have themes for psychological benefit of, what am I trying to say? Of, related words. Or maybe it's not. I secretly want to order the cards behind the scenes to maximize review of Kana and introduce gradually, which is very hard to pair with. Here are items in a restaurant, or other psychologically pleasing groupings of words. Hopefully this design decision doesn't bite me later. Okay. You are right, there should be modes. but one of the modes should be go forever. The other is end cards or end write or time box. And we should probably encourage the user to choose one of those options without making infinity possible. Okay, suggested architecture. Jetpack composed for UI, you're already there. Room for database, users. Do not try to hand roll SQLite or use JSON files or mutable state. Yeah, data store for simple preferences. Link serialization. You see, this is what I wanted. I wanted Opus to help me with the design because a low-level LLM can help me with, implementation stuff, but it isn't necessarily going to see the bigger picture. And I don't have to pay for it if I'm just using it through the chat window. Well, I mean, I pay for premium, but there's no additional cost. Exoplayer 3 for audio playback. Don't use Media Player. It's legacy and fussy. I feel like that's bit me in the ass before, and I'm glad that Opus got my back. Hilt for dependency injection, optional for a solo project, but it pays for itself once you have repositories and view modes talking to each other. If you've never used it, you can skip and use manual DI. I have no idea what Hilt is or why I need dependency injection. If you recommend it and it's not hard to set up and it's free, then that's fine, whatever. View model state flow for screen, navigation compose when you're ready to add screens soon, but data layering, top to bottom, curriculum layer, UI layer. Keep each separated. The scheduling layer especially. Make it pure. No Android dependencies. Oh. There should be a notification option. Remind me at a certain time, or remind me at a certain time if I haven't done a unit in 24 hours or 23 hours, 20 hours. Other modes, if they make sense or are industry standard. Okay. Likely just a different session builder that pulls cards from a unit ignoring schedule. Yeah. Instead of practice mode, call it guest mode. It should be trivial to change the active user. And if someone wants to show it to someone else, they shouldn't have to make an account or have it affect their scores. Add a stats page, purple theme, animations, error states, empty states, using Google AI and commit between every prompt. The AI will sometimes mangle a file, and Git is your best undo button. One concern per prompt. Add room entities. Okay, keep the curriculum JSON schema as a canonical reference, paste it into every prompt that touches curriculum loading. Yeah. I'm not going to paste anything into every prompt. However, I am fine with important context being added to an agents.md file. All right, so let's see here. We should have an agents.md file, right? Agents.md. We have no agents.md file. Generate a placeholder agents.md. Oh my god. Like, how do you make a vehicle that loud? My window is shut. Okay, sorry. Sidetrack. Generate a placeholder agents.md file. I will populate it. Okay. Alright. Where is it? Where is it? He said he added it. He. Did I just assume his gender? Its gender. Age. There. There. It's right there. What? It says it's in the root. That should make it really easy to find. Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Testing checklist. Agents.md. Open in Explorer. Minimize that. Agents.md and testing checklist. Feel free to update these and I will drop them in. Also, feel free to make a new plan or whatever. All right. So I think that this is the strategy that we want for, cost effectiveness. If you just load something and say, okay, GPT 5.2 or Opus 4.7 just to do my app for me, it's going to do so much reloading that you're just going to see the price just skyrocket really fast. But if you can use a free or cheap model to do simpler tasks and then use Premiere models for the planning phases, then I think that actually works out for the best. All right, great, this clarifies a lot. Let me push back, confirm on a few things before I write the files. On GUIDs for skill, I'd steer you away from GUIDs and towards unit-scoped string IDs like a, ka, ame. Composite key becomes unit ID, item ID. Reasons JSON stays hand-editable. On hilt, skip it. I was hedging before. Now that you've told me you don't know it, the answer is clearly no for version 1. It adds annotation, build configs, metal model for something that a manual app container pattern. Find at your scale. Add it later if your project grows teeth. On word review. If we are using, if we're using string IDs for cards, then they should be the Japanese, not Romaji. All written JSON files should use ensure ASCII equals false or whatever the Kotlin equivalent is that allows Unicode. All right. Free versus paid. This means Google Play billing. It's not hard, but it's real work. A whole separate integration day worth calling out in a plan so it doesn't ambush you. On recovery by percentage, let me nail the spec. User picks a unit and a percentage. We take the first n% of items in authored order, set their level to a middle-ish value, say 3 to 4, seen a few times successfully, and then scatter next review ad over the next few days so they don't all slam the user at once. It's simple and it works. On orderings, to maximize Kana exposure within themed units, your instinct is fine. Just author the JSON with this in mind when you build each unit. The data layer doesn't try to be clever. You control order at authoring time. That's the cheapest and most predictable solution. On guest mode versus main, I'll build it just as you described. Guest mode for demos doesn't touch anyone's scores. If later you want the main user to practice without affecting scores, that's a session level toggle we can add. Let me write the files. I don't think the user should be practicing without affecting scores. I don't. Why would you do that? If for some reason they wanted to see the introductory content again, they could just create a new user profile, or they could use guest mode. All right. I'll be back. I don't know how long that's going to take. A million billion apologies. I started reading this before I resumed the recording, but files the canonical context for any AI assistant working on this project, Google AI in the Android Studio, Claude, etc. Read it before writing code. Keep it updated as decisions change. Project identity. Kana Core is an Android app for learning Japanese kana and kana only vocabulary. Its purpose is to get users reading kana directly, not Romaji. Hiragana, katakana charts may use Romaji as a crutch. Word units must not. The app is a single purchase utility, free tier plus one-time paid unlock. No subscriptions, no ads, no accounts. These are non-negotiable. Do not propose architecture that violates them. No backend ever. No API calls, no remote storage, no cloud sync, no telemetry, no crash reporting, no analytics, no user accounts or logins. Users are local-only profiles on the device. Okay, I see what it's saying. No ads. Monetization is one-time in-app purchase only. A Ko-fi link on the About page is acceptable. No English audio. The app teaches reading kana. English is text only. No Romaji in word units. Kana charts may include Romaji as the English field. Word units must use English translations. No bulk playback Pimsleur style modes. Okay. Audio plays only in the context of a card the user is actively studying. This is a content licensing consideration, is not to be worked around. Audio ships in the APK. No downloading, no streaming. Assets only. No automatic level changes to component items. Missing a word does not demote the user's level on the content cited. User initiated only. I might change that later, but that's fine. Tech stack, UI, okay, that all looks fine. Architecture layers. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Curriculum, data model. Okay, that's fine. Version. Okay, units, hiragana chart. Alright. We might have to change this later, but that's fine. Disambiguation, audio. Okay, item IDs are unit scoped, string, stable forever, never reuse, never rename. Composite key. Unit ID, item ID. Do not use GUIDs. IDs must be human readable and hand editable. The authored order of items is authoritative. The app does not reorder for smarter kana exposure. Orders the author's responsibility at JSON authoring time. Okay, so item state is derived from history but stored for query speed. anything that calls a network API, any form of telemetry, even anonymous, cloud backup import, current implementation status. This looks pretty good. Do we have multiple files? Is it just one file? Created 3 files. All right. What? All right. I don't know what that is, but I doubt it's important. Okay. Replace the files of the destination. Let's say open git bash here. And terminal. Do I not have git bash? I do. Change directory. D. Oh my god. What the hell? Does git bash not have access to my files or something? Okay, I have no idea what's going on. I guess it's not really a path. It's kind of like a hack to make it work. That's fine. Change directory, Kana Core app, git status. Alright, that's fine. Git init, empty repository. That's fine. There is a .git ignore. .git ignore. Notepad, I guess. Yeah, so .git. I mean, that's probably implied, but okay. So git status, git Gradle. Here, let me show it the .git ignore. Anything I should add to .git ignore before my initial commit in Git? Stop steeping my tea while it thinks. Kukicha. It's a Japanese twig tea. It's very good. It's different. It's different than green tea or black tea. I don't really know how to explain it. I mean, it's most similar to green tea, but it's a little bit different. All right. Identified crucial. Git ignore gaps. Alright, yeah, a few important ones are missing. Build only ignores the root level build folder, but Android's actual build. Git status. Parts with username, IDE state. I mean, none of that's there because I haven't added anything like that. So, let's see. What I'd add. Oh dear. Oh God. What I would add, not what I would replace it with. That's what happens when you don't read. So do you mean failed to download? I hate you more than you will ever know. I somehow accidentally deleted my original .git ignore. Do you have a copy of it? Thank you. Save. Okay, come back here. Git status. Git add. Wait. Do I want Gradle to be added to Git? Don't confuse Gradle with .gradle. Ah, that's probably exactly what I did. Okay. So git status, git add, git commit -m, initial commit. All right. Paste. Your email. User.name. Taylor. Git status. Git commit -m. Initial commit. Git checkout -b. I don't know. Oh, that's stupid. I'm not doing git flow. Git checkout be, I don't know, working. Sure, whatever. All right. So let's come back here. Is it just going to keep doing that? Because that's actually kind of annoying. Okay. There are now 3 .md files. Please please verify you can read all of them and let me know if you have any questions. Also verify you will read them by default when doing any operation, or do I need to specify that somehow? Verified I can read all of your .md files. How I use these files. I don't automatically read them before every response. That would be too slow. However, I'm now aware of them. When to specify. If you ask for a specific task, I will proactively. Okay, agents. I noticed a very detailed project identity and rule set well planned. I'll treat agents as the source of truth on how to build. Does that align with your intent? Are you ready to begin step 1, curriculum schema plus loader? Or is there anything else you'd like to tweak in the UI first? Doesn't sound like it has any questions. Doesn't sound like it has any questions. So that's good. Yeah. Would it be possible to add a splash screen that shows a pretty picture of Sakura in bloom? generate it using generative AI. If you tell me the specs you need, i.e. resolution, format, etc. Yeah, we can definitely add a splash screen since we're following modern Android practices and the official splash screen API introduced in Android 12. There are two ways we can handle this. Full screen background, your request. If you want Sakura image to fill the entire screen as the app boots, resolution 1440 by 1320, standard high res aspect ratio. And keep the focal point of the Sakura in the center. This ensures that on shorter or wider screens, the best part of the image isn't cropped out. Format PNG, lossless, or WebP. The modern Android 12 way recommended. Modern Android uses a centered icon on a solid background. If you'd like to stick to this more native feel, a circular or square Sakura blossom icon, 1024 by 1024. That's easier to generate. PNG with a transparent background color. Like I said, if you want that pretty picture feel, go with option 1. One quick tip for an AI prompt, ask it vertical mode wallpaper Sakura cherry blossom. Okay, this will get plenty of bleed area. Alright, that sounds good. Yeah, let's go. Please generate this image. Vertical mobile wallpaper, Sakura cherry blossom in bloom, soft bokeh background, minimalist. Sounds good to me. With a bridge. I like a bridge. Okay. Creating your image. Actually, I should probably go take a walk before the sun goes down. I mean, I know it's not that late, but if I tarry too long, then... God, that just looks like a photograph. That's really good. I'm worried, though, with it being so blurry in the middle. All right. Downloading full size. Lossless PNG. Okay, we'll call this wallpaper, I guess. Okay, where should I drop the generated file? App source main res drawable. App source main. App source main res. Drawable. New folder directory. Okay, so okay. The resolution is not what you asked for. There is no transparent layer. I don't know if this is a problem, but it is there. Okay, I can work with wallpaper.png since it doesn't have transparency and the resolution is different. We'll just treat it as a full screen background image. I'll now set up the modern splash screen API for you, adding necessary dependencies. Okay. Getting restless. I picked up my phone. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. It seems like the failure rate on these commands is really high with this Gemini. Oh well, whatever. It's okay because it's free, right? This change introduced 3 errors. Well, goody. No.errors. You'll see unresolved errors. This is normal because the project needs to sync with Gradle. Click the sync now in the banner on the top of your Android Studio. Banner. Oh, that. Okay, this is what they call a banner. Gradle sync in process. All right. I feel like we should have text on the splash screen that says the name of the app. Can you add that? Modern Android is quite strict. Since we're using an AI to generate image, the easiest and best looking path is generate a new image that has the Kana Core written near the bottom of the Sakura picture. Replace the existing. Nah, it's fine. I can replace the image later. It is ready to run right now. But it will crash immediately unless you do the sync now. Okay. I did the sync now. I synced. Well, if it crashes immediately, I'll figure out how to sync again. God, it's hot. Probably because I turned off the AC. Of course, if I turn on the AC, then it's going to get loud. Okay, yeah, that is not going to work. Assistant. Okay, the white background on the splash screen is not going to work for my dark mode. Dark mode application. Also, I thought we were doing full screen, not a circle in the middle of the screen. That looks pretty silly with no accompanying text. Yeah, I'm turning on the AC. I'm sorry if it sorry if it's too loud, but all right. fix the white background in dark mode and address the circle issue. We need what? I lost my place. Make a few adjustments. Is intentionally restrictive. It wants to show an icon in a circle. To get a full screen look while being modern and supporting dark mode, we'll do the following. Add a night theme, maximize the image. While the API will crop any image used in. If you want a true edge-to-edge full screen. I've already updated the color resource. Let's just see what it looks like. I don't really know what it did. I don't really care as long as it looks good. And it's still white. Okay. It's still white. Do I need to rebuild or something? Okay, now uses the all, and here we go. Where is it? No. Here we go. It's a little bit different. Uninstalling the application. It detects it. It removes it. Let's rebuild. Gradle. No. Android Gradle scripts. Build. Okay. Starting to piss me off. Okay. Should I implement the true full screen transition now? I prepared a better approach. Well, the current splash screen is still white and looks terrible, so let's try your other approach. I was hoping to finish the splash screen. That seems like a good ending spot. Since the splash screen is now a compose box, I've set it the wall. Okay. Let's oh Jesus, this is stupid. This is so stupid. Okay. I need a smarter LLM. Okay. The AI assistant is having a hard time making. Let's go back to just the splash screen with a circle. The AI assistant is having a hard time making the splash screen not have a white background. any idea what might be going wrong. Splash screens on modern Androids are a weird corner of the platform because they're actually two different splash mechanisms and they don't share styling. If the AI is patching the wrong one, it's editing the compose screen, not the real splash screen. It sounds exactly like what it's doing. Okay. So, dark mode mismatch. If you hard-coded color white instead of using a theme aware, is that hard-coded? Doesn't seem to be the problem. I think the problem is that it's unspecified. Themes.xml. Okay. Themes.xml. And what was the other one? Android manifest.xml. Android manifest, not manifest, .xml. So we're saying it's that. Theme.app.starting doesn't exist in your themes.xml. Your manifest references at style theme.app.starting, but your themes.xml only defines theme.Kana Core. When Android can't resolve the reference theme, it falls back to default, which is white. That's your white background. Your theme.Kana Core parent that's the old platform Material theme, not Material 3. Not a splash screen theme. For a compose app using Material 3, you generally want a Material Components parent, and for the splash screen, you need a theme.splash screen parent. The fact that your app is even building surprises me a little. Yeah, well, that's what I get for. Yeah, well, that's what I get for using free AI instead of or Claude CLI. Okay, so let's see. Replace your themes.xml with something like this. So, and then add to what the hell is that? So let's see here. Splash background. So it is here. I don't want it FFFFF though. If anything, I think that's the fucking problem. I don't know. Okay. All right, so let's see. Splash background. I might have overdone it a little bit here. 330022. All right, you'll also need core splash screen dependency. I have a feeling that it already added this, but let's see. Oh, wrong key. All right. version. One point 2.0. Use catalog instead. Okay, now is this in here now that I've set it? Yes, it is. It was already there. It was just some sort of, okay. I think that was in there. I think it just didn't update the right. Okay, let's see what that does. Stop. Is this ever going to come back? Yoo-hoo! Running devices. Is it like glitching or something? The run button is grayed out. The run button is grayed out. Any idea? Why is the run button grayed out? Gradle sync issue. Oh. Gradle sync in progress. Come on. Maybe we'll get to a point where we're not constantly updating the damn Gradle file, and then this won't be as much of an issue. Duplicate resources. It would appear my attempted fixes have caused build issues. Investigate and fix, please. Honestly, it was probably that one color code value, and I just should have changed that in place instead of making multiple modifications. Too many cooks in the kitchen, right? Okay. Well, I mean, if the application has the option to go full screen, then I don't know why they're so... yeah, that's fine. I don't know why they are so weird about being strict on the splash screen. Maybe they're just strict with the built-in library, but everybody always has an option of building their own. Well, I have to say, developing for Android is just as annoying as I remember it. Oh my God. More. The run button is there. Now it just won't build. No action bar. Resource style theme material data. Well, now hold on. Oh, that's nifty, because I mean that's basically what I was doing, so. What did we change? What did we change that it has to re-download all this crap? Like a major version difference or something? All right. Please load. Please load and don't have a damn white background. Oh, finally. All right, that's it, and that is, wait. That isn't it, and that isn't all. So, git status, git, not fit, git add, git commit dash m, added splash screen. All right, everything is up to date. All right, we can stop running that. Last thing, every time I commit to git, I am getting. Okay, that was actually kind of funny. This. Is this a mismatch in git and IDE settings? Normally I ignore, but it's persistent. Alright, the warning happens because your global git configuration is set to automatically convert line endings to Windows style when checking out files, but the file in your project currently uses Linux style. Okay, I mean, I get that, but... Okay. Renormalize. Alright. Okay, I think we're done. I mean, we're done for today, so. All right, see ya.